My name is Lena and it's knitting time. Like I said, my name is Lena. I'm a Swedish knitter and aspiring knitwear designer. I live in Sweden, like I said. I have 2 kids and a partner. And yeah, I feel like I should start this video by telling you why it's been forever since there was a video. But at the same time, that whole thing is one of the reasons why there hasn't been a video, because the more time that passes, the bigger the mountain feels, and I'm like, oh, then I'm gonna have to start it by doing a whole thing about why there's not been a video. So honestly, I'm not gonna do it. One of the reasons I'll tell you for there not being a video in a while is the fact that the only thing I'm knitting so much, but the only things I'm knitting are basically my own designs, and I'm trying to work up to like a point where I have a good amount. I have a number in my head. I'm not going to give you the number because I'm not sure that's where I'm going to end up before starting like to publish. But I have a number in my head that I want to get close to, that are like tech edited, graded, test knit, like final formatted and everything. It's ready to publish. You just have to like push the button. And I don't want to have one. I want to have a few. So that I can get to a point where I can publish 1 pattern a month without stressing myself out about it. And I'm getting there. I'm getting closer. But I'm knitting so much. And it's basically all my own designs. And that's been a thing, because I've been like, okay, what do I even talk about on podcast? Do I talk about my own designs? Do I pretend to be knitting something else? Do I cast on something else just to have something to talk about? Or do I just not podcast? What do I do? So I've come to the conclusion that I miss you guys and that I like this format. So I'm gonna just go with it and just talk about whatever I'm knitting and take you along, because it's been a thing as well. Like, since I am doing this, where I'm trying to build like a backlog, is how I think of it, of patterns that I can publish. The patterns I'm working on right now might not be published for a long time. So that's also been a thing. Like, do I show this to you and be like, yeah, stay tuned for the test knit in a year, you know? But yeah, I'm just gonna go with the flow and we'll see where it takes us. So the first thing I thought I would do is go through my works in progress. I brought out all of my project bags because at the moment it feels like I only have 2 projects going, and I don't think that's true. But if you ask me like, what are you knitting on, I'm like, I don't even know. Do I even have something to knit? So I brought out all my project bags and I thought we would go through them together, and maybe I realized, oh right, I'm making this as well, maybe I should finish that. So I'm just gonna, pick a bag and we'll see where we end up. And we're gonna go with this one because it's tiny and it's closed, and I honestly don't know what's in this. Like, I don't knit these tiny projects, do I? I mostly knit sweaters. Oh, I just saw it. Okay, I know what this is. I should finish this. Winter's over. This is not like a design. I'm doing it without a pattern, but it's just a 1x1 rib hat. It's almost finished. Really. Should just finish this. It's basically only decreases left. This was just like a stash dive. I needed to do something with this yarn. I didn't really need to, I wanted to. This is Mandosana Falkland DK in a, I think the color is called Midnight or something, but it's like a navy blue. This might be my new favorite yarn. I love this. I've used it for a few of my designs, and I went to a yarn show this weekend and she had this back in stock. It's been out of stock for a while and I just had to get myself some because I love this one. But yeah, this is nothing special. It's a 1x1 rib hat. I kind of don't like hats. I think that's why this isn't finished, because I feel like every time I knit a hat, the size is wrong. Doesn't matter if I follow a pattern or if I make it up myself, if it's for me or for the girls, the size is wrong. So Iris has a hat now that she wears every single day to preschool. I'm not kidding, I knit that hat like 5 times to get the right size. The hat I knit myself last winter. It's too big, so now Simon is wearing it. I made myself an Oslo hat this year that actually fits. And I think that's why this got put on the back burner, because the Oslo hat fit. But I would like to finish this. I would like to have a navy hat. It looks kind of small. Maybe Iris can wear it. The next thing we're gonna look is this. I know what this is. It's just that it's so boring. This isn't a pattern or anything. This is just like, I'll show you. I'm making a garter stitch rectangle. So exciting. And this isn't even half the size, which I think is why it's not exciting. I'm using, what am I using? Pernilla Filcolana in the color Chrysanthemum. And then I'm holding it, I think, with, this might be Peruvian, in burnt sienna or something. I'm just holding them together to make a rectangle with garter stitch. I'm gonna felt this and make one of these. I made this for Iris. She has it in her backpack, like this. Put it in her backpack, and she takes it with her because they go to the forest every Wednesday with her preschool, and I don't want her to be cold when they're sitting like in the forest eating their like packed lunches. So it's one of those. It's just a rectangle that I felted. This was made using, oh, this is dirty. This was made using Pergint and Pernilla, I think. Just some stash yarn I had. I'm making one for me. And the plan was to make one for Simon and one for Molly. So we can have them when we go to like playgrounds and bring like lunch and stuff. Honestly, it's so boring to knit this. So we'll see if I ever make like for the entire family. This should be a project that I bring with me when I'm like to knit night or something, but it's not giving me a dopamine hit. What am I gonna go to next? Then I have this one. I know what this one is. I wanted to finish this one, but it's in the naughty corner. It's not even the sweater's fault. I'll show you and I'll explain. This is a raglan. Just a super plain raglan, full length, and I'm making it using, I have more of this, but this is the only one I had in here. This is Woolly Mammoth Fibers Hearth Decay. I think the color is Campfire or Ember maybe. But it's this like rustic, it's this rusty reddish. And I'm holding it together with one strand of Holst Super Soft in the color. I think this was Ember. Maybe this is Campfire. And they're creating this. The goal was to make a very like thick, warm sweater that I could just throw on when I'm going outside with the kids and be like rough with. I don't have to be very careful with it or anything. And it's almost done. Like I have the entire body. I did an Italian bind off, which is my new thing apparently. I don't love doing it, but I do like that it's a bit stretchy and the way it looks. So apparently I'm doing an Italian bind off these days. And I just have the sleeves. I'm working on one sleeve. I took the needles out because I needed them for something. But the thing with this, and I'm ashamed to even say it, but the thing with this is that the Holst Super Soft I bought on like a cone, so I had a lot of it. And I don't love this yarn. I used it for design, and I don't love it. I don't love the experience of knitting with it. So I sold it. And after I sold it and like shipped it and everything, I was so happy because I had like 3 cones of it in different colors. I was like, oh, that's out of my stash. I don't want to use it. I don't like it. And then I was like, wait, I'm making a sweater with that yarn. And then I had to go look in my like project bags and I found this sweater. I'm like, oh No. So yeah, I sold the yarn that I had lots and lots and lots of. And I'm not sure that this little ball here will last me 2 sleeves. Probably not. So this is in the naughty corner because I messed up. So we'll see. At some point I'll finish it as far as I can, and I can just order another ball of the whole super soft. If the colorway isn't perfect, that's okay. But I mean, it's so annoying that I had the yarn and then I sold it. And that I didn't even like think about it when I did. I was just so happy to get it out of my stash. I didn't even think about the fact that I was actually using that yarn for a project. So yeah, this sweater would have been finished by now if I hadn't sold the yarn, which I did. Then I have a tiny little project that I could finish in like 30 minutes probably. I'm making tiny little mittens for Molly, which is my youngest. She's 1.5 almost. The yarn I'm using, I'm holding this double. It's a yarn from a Swedish dyer called Myrans Maskor, and I have no idea what the colorway is, I'm sorry. I bought this at Yarn Festival in like October, and I made her a Nomina cowl. I can't show it to you because she's wearing it at preschool. She's wearing it all the time, like every single day. And I realized that she needs mittens. She only has those like big chunky gloves, and I was like, she needs tiny mittens. We haven't had lots of snow that we usually do. It's not been that cold, so it's like she needs little mittens, and these are almost done. It's just a little thumb, and I tried these on her, and her thumb is literally like, I haven't knit any thumb, and her thumb is almost all like covered when I put these on. So I think that's why I haven't finished them, because I'm like, okay, but what do I do with the thumb? If I knit a lot of thumb, it's gonna be too long. So what do I do? Maybe I'll just knit 2 rows or something and then do the decreases. We'll see. These are almost done. These are the world's simplest mittens by Tin Can Knits. It's the 3rd pair I'm making. I made one for Iris. I made one pair for myself, and now I'm making a pair for Molly. I'm not ever, I think, gonna be a mitten knitter. Like at my knit night, there are people that only knit mittens, or they knit a lot of them, and they do these amazing, look so good with like color work and like texture and all of that. Honestly, I don't really enjoy like knitting mittens or socks. I don't know why. For some reason, it's not giving me the dopamine hit. So I'm only making mittens for necessity. So I'm just gonna go with the simplest pattern I can find just to get them done. So I should probably finish these. It's just the little thumbs left. Honestly, I knit these in like one evening because they're so small. And then we move on to my like active whips, the ones I think about when people are like, what are you knitting right now? I think about this sweater and the next thing that I will show you. This is a new design that I'm working on, and bear with me because it's gonna look terrible now because it's not been blocked yet, and it has textured sections which with stockinette in between, and the stockinette is rippling like crazy, but it was completely fine in my like, what's it called, my swatch. When I blocked it, it all went smooth. I steam blocked a part of the shoulder of this design, and that also just smoothed out perfectly. So I'm confident that it's gonna look good when it's been blocked, but right now it's not looking its best. So bear that in mind. But this is a drop shoulder design with a double folded collar, and it has this texture. Try to smooth it out. So it's like stripy, but with texture instead of colors. Hoping you can see that. I'm working on one of the sleeves right now, and then I'm gonna keep going on the body. It's gonna be full length. It has the shoulder detail. Let's see if I can show it to you here. It has the shoulder detail that I like, where the shoulder goes down the back. I read somewhere that it's called a European shoulder. I don't know if that's true, with that kind of shoulder, and the shoulder detail also has the texture. And I'm really, really excited about this. I'm making it in Sandnes Garn Pergynt in the color Jolly Blue. And I've never used this yarn for sweater before, and I'm a little bit nervous because it does feel a bit rustic to me. But I was at knit night and somebody wore like a pair of mittens or something that was made with this yarn. She was like, no, feel it. It's so soft when you block it and you wear it a little bit. And it was really soft. So I thought, what the heck? I'm gonna go for it. So I'm making this sweater. I'm very excited to have this finished. But I was working on this for hours and hours and hours a day because I'm not been working at my like current job for like a month because I have an injury in my side, which means I can't be lifting, and I'm lifting a lot at my job. So at the moment I'm home. So I've been knitting a lot, and I was knitting away at this for hours and hours and hours a day, and honestly I just needed a break. So I haven't knit on this for a little bit because I needed something else for a little while. But I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be called the Goby sweater with a Y, because one of my best friends, she's a marine biologist and she's also a knitter. She was here at my apartment with another one of our knitting friends who were having a knit night. I came at like 3 in the afternoon, stayed until like midnight or something. It was great. And we were talking about this design because I was knitting on it, and I was like, can't really think of a name. I don't really know what to do. And another one of my knitting friends, she said previous that this design reminded her of like fisherman sweaters. So I talked about this with my marine biologist friend, and I was like, I feel like I need a nautical theme, like maybe a name of a fish or an area in the ocean or whatever. So we were brainstorming, and then she showed me this fish called the Mandarin Goby. Put up a picture here. Apparently it's her favorite fish, and I just really like the name and the fact that the fish is kind of stripy and the fact that it was also very blue. So that stuck with me. So that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it the Goby sweater. And I'm very excited about it. It's gonna be very oversized, kind of loose fit. That's the plan. And now we're on to the last thing. I have 2 projects in this because they're 2 different sizes. I'll show you the first one. This is another sweater design, and Molly, my youngest daughter, she needed a new sweater. That's how this came to exist. I looked in my stash, was like, okay, what can I do? What gives me joy? I saw these colors and I did a little swatch and was like, yep, that's what I'm doing. So I'm making her little sweater. This doesn't have a name yet. This is what it looks like. This is the only thing I want to be knitting on right now, but I ran out of black. I've ordered it. It's gonna arrive, but it's gonna arrive when I'm traveling. So I will not be knitting on this for like another week, which makes me sad, which is why I cast on another version for an adult, because this is the only thing I want to be working on. So I made her this. This is a little raglan. It has short rows to raise the back, and it's just a 1x1 stripy colorwork thing. I just thought it was so effective with the colors. And in the middle, the main color switches. And I love this. And I just want to make it now. But yeah. And the plan is that the stripes will end after the split. So it's only going to be on the yoke, and then it's going to be black. But I'm thinking maybe I make a second version that I include in the pattern as well, that has the color work all over. We'll see. But I'm very, very excited about this. This is what gives me joy at the moment. It's the only thing I want to make. I just need to wait for the yarn to arrive. So like I said, instead I cast on a second sample, which is this one. And this is made, oh, I didn't say. This one is made with Cascade 220. The black and the blue is Cascade 220. The orange is the Falkland DK I talked about from Andersana. But it's the same thickness and everything as Cascade. So the pattern will be written for Cascade 220 is the plan. This one is also made in Cascade 220. Almost The green one is a different color. It's like a hand-dyed Swedish thing. But this is an adult version for Simon. And I have been knitting at this and I'm loving it. It looks kind of small now, but we'll see. The thing is, I realized that I have added rows in the stockinette section. If you look at this first sample, there are only 4 rows between the colors, and here there's 6. Just realized this, and when I saw it, couldn't unsee it. I don't like how it looks. So I'm gonna frog this back to here, and then redo it. Life of a designer. I just felt now, when I held it up to me, that it felt small. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll have him try it on later today, because this is what I'll bring on my little trip that I'm taking. I'm leaving tonight. I'll be gone for 3 days. So this is what I'm gonna take. So I'll have him try it on before I go. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. The green in this is Underbart Garn, wonderful yarn. It's a Swedish dyer. It's called Molly DK. It's in the green dragon colorway. Had this in stash, I wanted to use it, so that's what I'm holding with the cascade, which is the red, which is here. And the main color is this grayish, very black grayish cascade as well. Simon has really been on me about getting another sweater. I made him a stick CSM by Crea Bea, like last year maybe. And he's using that so much, like every single week he uses it like 3 or 4 times. So he's been like, I need another sweater. So time has come. But that one doesn't have a name yet. So if you have a great like name suggestion, leave it in the comments. Otherwise I'll brainstorm it later. So that's all my whips. And I still feel like, I just went through them all, and I still feel like I'm only making the Gobi sweater and the colorwork sweater. All of the other ones feel like they're a bit on pause maybe. I'll finish these, but the other ones feels like, I don't really know. Especially the one where I sold the yarn, I can't really get over that. So I don't really have a lot to say other than that. I went to a yarn show this weekend and I bought some yarn, and I can show you what I got. I did get the main color for Simon's sweater, the Cascade 220. The colors I already had in my stash. And then I also got some of the Falkland DK I told you about from Under Salna in this amazing, I don't know if the colors are showing off, but it's this amazing purple. I'm not a purple person. I don't think I would wear purple. Maybe. I don't know. But I saw this and was like, I love this color. It's called Aubergine. And I thought Iris could use a sweater. So I got some. This is the perks of having kids that are like knit worthy, because they wear their knits all the time. So I'm like, oh, I love that yarn. I don't want to wear it, but I want to make something with it. Oh, perfect. I'll make something for the kids. So I got some of this, which made me very happy. And Iris also needs a new slip over. I've realized that the slip over is a perfect garment for like spring, autumn vibes, like those kinds of temperatures where you can wear a light jacket, but you need something, but a full-on wool sweater is too warm, put on a slip over. Or in the springtime last year, she wore her slip over so much because it was like too cold to go outside in only your like t-shirt or whatever, but it was too warm to be wearing a jacket, so she wore her slip over so much. But that one's too small now because she's growing. Obviously, she's 3.5 years old almost, so she's growing, so she needs another one. And I got this yarn. It's amazing, and I would never wear it, but it's amazing. It's from Northern Yarn Studio, which is a local to me dyer in Sweden, which also felt really great to like support her. It's on her glitter sock base. It's like a 75. It's a standard like fingering weight hand dyed yarn. It's 75% merino and then nylon, and also has a little bit of gold stellina in it because it's glittery. Look at this. Neon lights is the colorway. It's amazing. It's like a rainbow and it has some blue speckles, and I don't know if the camera is picking up the fact that it has like gold glitter thread in it. But this made me so happy. So I'm gonna make Iris a new slipover using this, and I think she's gonna love it. Like, love it. She has a sequins sweater jacket thing that's like the rainbow colors and sequins, and she wears that every time she's like, oh, I'm gonna dress up a little bit, she puts that on. So I think she's gonna love this. Very excited about it. I've always been the kind of person who's seen like a mini skein and been like, not for me, I'm not a sock knitter, what am I gonna do with it? But this year, color work has been my dopamine hit. For some reason, I'm just really into the idea of color work and knitting color work. So I realized mini skeins are perfect for color work. So I got some mini skeins. I'm just showing you, by the way, I'm not showing you the full quantities I got of everything. I'm just showing you the thing. So I got some of these and some of these. These are also from Underbart Garn, the same as this one. They're sock mini, which is a fingering weight, but I'll probably hold it double because I'm such a loose knitter. I don't really do fingering weight. And this amazing navy blue and this neon-y orange. I realized after buying this that I kind of already have a yarn in my stash that's this color. I think it's like at the bottom of this, so I'm not gonna take it out now, but I think so. But that's fine. I love this color. I made myself a slipover in that yarn, and I'm very happy with that. So I got those, and I'm thinking I'm gonna make some kind of sweater for Iris with those. And then I found this one, which doesn't feel like an obvious match, but I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but in this one, there are tiny speckles of blue, orange, reddish. These colors are in those speckles, which made me very happy because I think they're gonna pick up the speckles lovely. It's gonna look great. This is Luna by Permin. I've never used that yarn before. I don't know which colorway this is. The number is 889004. So I'm gonna do some kind of color work with these. Maybe, I'm thinking now, I'll do one of these, but with color work on the entire body for Iris. We'll see. Very excited about them. And then I think the last thing I got at the yarn festival was this, which is a crazy pink reddish thing from Nitrius Yarns, which I also think is a Swedish dyer. This is their M166 Aran in neon lights. Look at this. This is one of the yarns. We were at the yarn festival. I looked at this. It's like, it's amazing, but what am I going to do with that? I'll never wear it. I'm not a pink person. And then we walked away, and both me and one of my friends, we were like, that pink yarn. We looked at it like 3 times going around the yarn show, and then we're like, I'm just going to go get it. So I got one skein of this to use as some kind of contrast color, I think, for one of the girls. I love this. It's gorgeous. So I'm very excited about that. I don't know what I'll do with it. We'll see. That was one of the things for the yarn show this year. When we went this autumn, I had a list, very specific, like I need 3 skeins of this kind of yarn for this project, and I need 4 skeins of this yarn for this project. But this year was like, one of the things on my list was inspirational contrast colors. So this one is one of those. These ones were also those. And this one was definitely not on the list. I just love the color. So yeah, I had a really good time at the yarn show. I'm not gonna go through like finished objects, which is usually a part of this kind of format, because like I stated at the beginning, I haven't been here for a while, so there's like a million finished projects that I could show you. But honestly, I feel like that's also one of the things that's been like a big hurdle. Like, okay, what do I even show as a finished object? Do I pull out all the things I made since I last made a video? That would be insane. So I just decided I won't. I'll just start fresh from here, and I'll show you my finished objects moving forward and all of that. So yeah. Also, I should go get it. Give me a second. I'm back. So this is my Archie wrap, which is one of my designs. It's a triangle shawl, if you will. You could probably wear it as a shawl if you wanted to. style it a little bit better than I just did. Could probably wear it as a shawl if you wanted to. I designed it to be worn as a wrap. So just like wrap it around your shoulders like this. At least that's like how I'm wearing it and what I had in mind when I made it. But this is the Archie wrap. It's named after the word archipelago because I designed it with, like, in my mind, I would wear it when you're out like by the water in the summer, but there's a little breeze, or it's getting colder because the like sun is setting or something. You just put this over your shoulders. That's like the idea of it from the beginning. And also me and Simon took the pattern pictures in like the archipelago area, and when we were doing it, we were both like, what's the word for this in English for like the archipelago? And then we thought of it and was like, I'm gonna call it the Archie wrap because I didn't have a name for it by then. So this is the Archie wrap. It is, like I said, a garter stitch triangle. You start up here with a garter stitch tab and you work your way down. It has an integrated I-cord all the way. And then the edging is a Latvian braid with a picot edge. And I love it. And the reason why I thought I would show this to you is that the test call is actually live right now. It's been on my Instagram for a few days now, so if you follow me there, you probably already saw it. If you don't, please head on over. My Instagram is Knits by Lena. That's where I post all my test calls, and there's going to be a lot of them this year, I hope, because I'm getting to that point now where I have a lot of patterns that just needs to be tech edited and tested, and then they're ready to go. And I'm very excited about that stage. So the test call for this is live. It's going to be live until Sunday. If you want to sign up for the test knit, I will put the link to the Google form down below, and you can go check it out. It really helps me out with like the design dream, because the scary step for me is the test knit, because I don't have control over that. If nobody signs up, there will be no test knit. And I could put on a pattern without having a test knit, but I don't feel comfortable with that. So test knitters are crucial to this journey. So if you feel like you have the time and you would like to help me out and test knit, that would make me so happy, and the test knit form is below. So that's everything for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a long time coming, but now we're back, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!